Aha, this is the perfect topic to rant about. The cloud and the dangers of it. Because Disney has actually been doing something else during all of this. They are basically removing old Fox movies from circulation. They're pulling them from, I think they may be pulling them from streaming services as well, potentially to have them up on Disney Plus, I don't know. But they're definitely pulling old Fox movies from theaters. Like theaters that want to do matinees or movie marathons or film festivals and shit like that, they're no longer allowed to screen like Die Hard. Now, all those old 21st Century Fox movies, Disney is blocking now. So, the theaters can't show it anymore. Theaters can't show it. And they're pulling all sorts of stuff from streaming services, again, presumably because they may be launching on Disney Plus, maybe not. But Doomcock made a really damn good point in his video. What if the reason they're doing this is because they're trying to scrub the existence of these good movies from everyone's memories, so we got nothing to compare it to when they make their shitty woke remakes? Because that has really been biting Hollywood in the ass the past few years, is they keep doing shitty remakes of good movies, and everyone pretty much says the same thing. Like, I'll just watch the original, not this garbage. Now, this doesn't hold a candle to the original. Yeah, speaking of that too, The Princess Bride was another one of these movies that they're not allowing theaters to show anymore. And what do you know? There were just recently floating rumors around about potentially remaking The Princess Bride. Is this a coincidence? Possibly. I don't know. It's still just a conspiracy theory, right? So the one silver lining, though, is these movies exist in physical format. And also on the 7 Seas as well. So when fucking Boomer Disney shows up and they want to tell you that you can't have these good movies anymore, you have to watch our new shit that's complete garbage, we just respond with har fiddle-dee-dee. That's all we got to do. So we're still fine there. And it exists on physical as well. They can't go door to door and collect everyone's Blu-rays and DVDs and whatnot. And yeah, one of my friends pointed out too when he showed me this, actually. It's almost as if these companies don't realize you can still easily find copies of Song of the South and the Star Wars Christmas special, despite how hard Disney and Lucasfilm tried to scrub them from existence. It's never going to happen. They're always going to be there. Once they're on the internet, they're there for good. So how does this tie into the cloud? Well, imagine if they didn't release physical media. If they never gave you anything that you could copy and save or whatnot. It was only ever in the cloud. And then one day they decide, I don't want them watching this movie anymore. Let's just cut off their access to it. Or I want to censor this classic movie. Let's just censor the one version that we have complete control over. Now, I know the pirates are always going to save the day because there's nothing they can do to stop us from just recording and saving the recordings. And there, you could just watch this instead. We're going to do it. And they keep trying. All of these, there's a lot of these apps that they don't allow screen capture while the app is running. But there's ways you can hack into the drivers and even physically your monitor to redirect some of these outputs. You'll be fine. It's easy to get around these, or even the method that they themselves try to tell you is, our shit's copy protected out the ass, but if you want to have a version you can show a class in school or something, set up a camera in front of your TV and record it. All you need is one person to do this, actually. One person gets a very good camera and gets it positioned perfectly so the recordable area matches pixel by pixel with the screen, and then matches the frame rate of the camera to the frame rate of the screen. And then, just records the video track, records the audio track, merges the two together in video editing software, and boom, you got yourself a copy. So that's gonna happen. But gaming is not as safe as movies are. Because movies, music, you're never going to be able to stop people from pirating that. As long as it's made to be consumed by human eyes and ears, there's always going to be ways that you can just rip it. And there's nothing they can do about it. But games, which are interactive, well, maybe not most current year games. I mean, they're really just glorified movies. The cinematic experience, right? Where you just occasionally press a button to advance. So you may as well, it's like watching a movie where you have to hit an X button just to make it advance to the next frame or something. I don't know. That a lot of games, unfortunately, seem to be going that route. They're not even, I wouldn't even call them games anymore. These cinematic experiences are no more games than visual novels are. Nah, they don't get a free pass just because they have prettier graphics. But what's this going to do to gaming? What's going to happen when the one and only copy of this game that exists is on Stadia? You don't own it. You've never had it locally. The way Stadia and other game streaming services work is all of the processing is done on their servers. You hit buttons, the input goes from your controller to their servers, and their computer, their server crunches the numbers, and then they stream back the video and audio feed to you, showing you what happened. Because I've heard a few people who don't know how this tech works try to say, oh, it's going to be just like private servers of MMOs. People are going to crack. No. Unless the source code of these games leaks, they're never going to be cracked like MMO private servers are. It's never going to happen. Because with an MMO private server, a lot of the actual work is done, or most of the actual work is done on the client side anyway. So if you sniff the traffic between the client and the server, you could reverse engineer the structure of the server. But with with game streaming, you can't do that because you have controller or keyboard inputs coming in one side, and then you got video and audio streams coming out the other. There's nothing to reverse engineer. You never get to see any of the actual code or any of the work being done. So if you have games that are exclusive to streaming services, and these companies then decide, we don't want people playing this anymore. We want them playing our new game, not this old stuff. We're just going to turn it off. It's gone forever. Unless someone leaks it or they decide to bring it up later in some other capacity, whatever. But for the time being, it's gone forever. Nothing you can do about it. You sunk thousands of hours into it. Just like a dead MMO at this point. Sucks to be you. Yeah, or they just decide, this stuff that used to work doesn't work in current year. It hasn't aged well. So let's censor all of the anime titties in this game. Let's put all the women in burqas. Nothing you can do to stop it, because guess what? You can't even mod the game anymore, because you don't own any of it, none of it's local, it's all on some other server. You can't do shit about it. Now, some of them may open, I guess, paid mods, approved mods. Yeah, they're going to release some modding tool, and okay, you can create something through this tool and submit it to us, and we're going to approve or reject it, and then put it up on the store and give you a small cut. That's probably the extent of what modding's going to be in the future when gaming tries to force itself to be cloud-based. But seeing what the movie industry is doing right now, people need to be very concerned about games going cloud exclusive. Because, again, if movies are streaming only and they never release any physical edition, it doesn't matter. Because there's always ways to rip the stream and save it off. And then we can keep it preserved forever. But not so with a video game. It's just going to be like a black box. Our inputs go in and video and audio streams shoot out. That's all we're going to get. So unless the developer leaks it or they make the code available, if they choose to shut down the game, nothing we can do about it. All versions of the game in existence, gone. If they choose to censor it, all versions of the game in existence are now censored. That's the future that we're heading towards if people are dumb enough to actually support things like Stadia. It's over. These companies have full control over everything at that point, which is exactly what they want. That's why they're doing this shit. And then they could claim that they ended piracy. So I go back to my previous line. Now, the guy in the boardroom, like, oh, I'm pleased to announce that we have cut piracy by 100%. And then the other guy, like, yeah, but we also cut our paying customers by 95%. Was this really worth it? And then they throw that guy out the window, of course. But that's where we're going to be if we let this shit happen. If we let games move exclusively to the cloud, the game industry is dead to me. And it's going to be dead to everyone else soon enough, because I don't think it can survive very long like that. But I don't know. People are pretty stupid. I said that about a lot of things. Like, oh, people won't be dumb enough to accept this. And it's the norm now. So, yeah, I mean, even me. I mean, I've been doomsaying for a long time. Like, even back when I played Conquer Online in the early 2000s, like, oh, this type of monetization, we're going to see this in the West. Like, nah, it's a different culture. People will never accept it. And they did. Yeah, I at least thought some people would draw the line on-disc DLC, for example. Day one DLC, often pretty big DLC as well. But no. All they did was make up excuses. Like, well, the game development cycle is different nowadays. Well, the price of the game isn't going up, so they got to make their money somehow. And here we are. We're almost at the final step. The final step is Stadia. Even if Stadia flops, they're going to try it again. Because this is what the industry wants. They want 100% control of your entire experience. And from the looks of it, your average gamer is dumb enough to give it to them. So, as I'm slowly backing away from the game industry and supporting alternatives, I will be sure to keep an eye on this so we can all point and laugh at the dumpster fire together. And that's all I got to say about that.